Morning, children. Now, today we are going to start with another chapter, which is the second chapter of Unit 4 of your book. Ma'am Shweta has already done with you marketing, meaning, and its features and all. And this is the second chapter of Unit 4, that is marketing mix, and in which we are going to take the elements of marketing mix. What is, you have already, till now, you must have already known what is marketing and what all things comprises and what all elements are considered or categorized in marketing mix, that we are going to take in this chapter, and in detail we'll take up one by one. So let's start. In order to achieve its marketing objective, that is business's marketing objective, every business enterprise prepare a marketing plan. Every business concern prepares the marketing plan, in which they take several decisions regarding the product, what product they are going to sell, what price they are going to charge, and by what distribution method they are going to take, and what techniques they are going to use for the sale promoting, right? So for this purpose marketing plans are done, right? Now, meaning and elements of marketing mix. In order to satisfy the needs and wants of its customer, every business firm must develop an appropriate marketing mix. Marketing mix refers to the combination. This is, children, this you have to underline or you have to memorize. Marketing mix refers to the combination of four basic elements which constitute the core of company's marketing system. And what are these four elements of marketing? They are four P's, children. P for parrot. Four P's. The first one is product. What product the company is going to sell and different decisions regarding the product. The price structure, what the company is going to keep for their product. Then promotional activities, right? Promotional activities, how they are going to increase their sale, the promotional activities, and the distribution system, that is the place. So you have four P's: product, price, place, and promotion. So these are marketing mix is just simply you have to make the plans, and these marketing plans regarding the product, price, place, and promotional activities, and the element are also the same. The elements are four P's. So every business concern have to check the habits of the customer, what customer likes, what it dislikes. So in the same manner they are going to make their products so that it becomes more effective to the customers, and then only customers are going to buy. Then the prices they are going to keep in such a manner that the price should be reasonable for the customers, and they should also make some profit so that their company can grow. So marketing mix is important due to the following reasons. It decides, keeping in view the needs and desires of the target group of customers. Therefore, it helps the firm in increasing the sale and profit. Because of marketing mix, the sale and profit both increases, because when marketing mix is done, it is kept in mind that all the target group's customers should be satisfied, and once they are satisfied, they are going to pay to the company and buy the product. So through proper marketing mix, future needs and future things can be predicted, and accordingly the product and the price can be set up. So through marketing mix, first and foremost thing is, through marketing mix there is an increase in sale and there is an increase in sale and in profit if it is done in a proper manner. The second is, it maintains a balance between various elements which are interrelated. Therefore, marketing mix represents an integrated approach to the marketing. So marketing mix also creates a coordination between all the four P's, all the four marketing mix element. It creates a balance between all the four elements of marketing mix. Then it serves as a link between the business firm and its customer, because in marketing mix you only go and find out the needs and requirements of the customers, and then you meet out by creating a product. So it is a link between the customer and the customers and the firm. Then marketing mix is changed with changes in the requirement of the customer. This is one and very very important, that marketing mix keeps on changing, and that is why it is said it is a dynamic concept which keeps on changing with the change in the needs of the customers, right? So these are the four importance of marketing mix, and that is why marketing mix is very very important. Now the first element is product mix, right? Under this we are going to study the product, what the company is going to make, and how is it judged that it is beneficial to the customers or not, and what our needs should be satisfied. Everything regarding the product is thoroughly analyzed and is studied, and a product is created for sale purpose. Now the first one is product mix. Product element of marketing mix represents the tangible and intangible elements offered to the customer in order to satisfy his need. Product can be anything. Product can be tangible, product can be intangible. Intangible here means that the services which the companies are selling. So in that case, like it's a communications, suppose telecommunication sector, they are selling the services, they are not actually selling the product, but they are selling the intangible good, right? So tangible and intangible both are termed as product over here, and both satisfy the needs of the customers, right? Now what all things are to be studied in product element? It involves the decisions concerning the what quality you are going to keep of the product, what size you are going to keep, what range you are going to keep, packaging, brand name, label, warranty and services. Everything should be studied under product mix, right? Now consumer consider a product as a bundle of satisfaction. Whenever consumer is buying anything, that the thing what the consumer buys is a bundle of satisfaction actually, right? So it could be a tangible thing, it could be an intangible thing. Now product is mostly, it is visible component of marketing mix. In simple words, product means what a seller sells and what a buyer buys. It has been defined as anything that can be offered to customers to satisfy a need or want. Now these satisfaction can have three layers: the core benefit, the expected benefit, and the augmented benefit. The core benefit is, that is the basic and fundamental benefit of the customer, that the customer is seeking from the product and the services. For example, transportation is the basic benefit for which a car is bought, right? So this is a core benefit. Now expected benefit is that it should be a fuel efficient car, and then it is an expected, that it is termed as expected benefit. Then later on augmented benefit is seen, that is it should have some interest free loan, some free insurance should be there. So all the things consumer sees, but they are categorized or layered accordingly. So first is the core benefit, that is for the transport that car is wanted or needed. Then expected benefit is it should be fuel efficient. If it is fuel efficient, then it is more beneficial. Then comes augmented. Augmented is another more expectations of, you can say, customers, that they may seek for interest free loans or free insurance, which is an augmented benefit, right? Now, customers have a wide variety of needs. Therefore, several types of products are offered by the marketers to satisfy customers' need. And what are these different types of products? Let's see. Physical items like car, television, shirts, soap, they have given an example. Services, education, healthcare, banking, insurance, entertainment, transportation, warehouse, etc. Place of tourism are also the product which are sold, like Singapore, Dubai, Kerala. Experiences like cinema, meditation, multiplex, or you may have a different clubs also. Then ideas, don't kill the girl child, so these ideas are also sold. Some people make, the advertising companies make these ideas, make these, come up with these ideas, and they sell their ideas with a price, for a price they sell. So these ideas are also sold. Then information, some internet surfing is also a part of product which are sold in the market. Now, meaning, feature and types of goods. Goods are tangible items that either consumed directly or used in the production of other goods. Bread, butter, toothpaste, iron ore. These are the examples given in your book which are tangible. What the word you have to keep in mind? That is, it is, goods are tangible items. Now, the main features of goods are tangible. They have shape, they have size, they have weight, color, etc. They can be seen, they can be touched, they can be felt. Then goods are separable from the producer and the seller. There is usually a time gap between their production and consumption. There are 2 points over here. Goods are separable from the producer and the sellers, and there is usually a time gap between the production of the good and the consumption of the good. Goods can be stored for sale or use in future. They can be stored and they can be used in future. They are factory made and they are homogeneous in quality. The homogeneous means they look alike. They are homogeneous in quality. Goods are all of several types. They are of several types. Types of the goods are consumer products, shopping products, specialty products. Now let us see, consumer products are those products which are used for direct consumption. Consumer buy and he or she consumes directly. He doesn't sell off that product. The consumer is a person who buys the product for self consumption, right? So those are called consumer products. In consumer products you have convenience product, shopping product, and specialty product. Now convenience products, these goods are purchased frequently and with minimum effort, like toothpaste, like newspapers, soaps, etc. They are purchased frequently and with minimum effort. The main characteristics of convenience products are, these products are purchased at convenience, that is nearest location, with least effort and time. You don't want to spend much time for purchase of these convenience product. These products have small units of purchase and at a low price. They are of low price. Then these products are standardized and usually branded. These products have regular and continuous demand. These products are of daily use and are called essential items, right? Then comes shopping products. Shopping products are the products which you purchase after analyzing by going through various shops, by going through different stores, and then you analyze and you make a comparative study of the same product at different stores, and then you buy that product. So what are the quality, and the examples are furniture, cloth, TV, fridge. The main characteristics of shopping products are, these products are generally durable, these products are purchased with planning, and there is very little impulse buying. These products have high unit price. These are purchased after comparison of competing brand. These are always compared with different brands. Like if you want to purchase TV, you will find out, you will search for the price of LED of different companies, like Samsung, Onida, then You have so many Sony, then you have Panasonic, so many companies make the same LED, but you will go and you will compare with the brands and then only you will purchase. So such type of products are called shopping products of consumer products, right? Specialty products are they are purchased with special efforts, and anybody cannot buy them. They are purchased by making an extra efforts, like jewelry, like fancy items. The main characteristics of specialty products are, the first is that it has a very high value. Then considerable promotion is needed to inform people about availability features, etc. of these products. The demand for these product is limited, as relatively few people buy them. These products are often called luxury. So first one which we have done, convenience one, they were called essential goods, and the specialty products are called, many a times they are called luxury goods, right? Then comes the product on the basis of durability. There are non-durable products and there are durable products. Non-durable products which you can these consumers products, these are the consumer products consumed normally in one or few uses. They are used and they are not to be kept for longer period of time. Once they are used, they are finished. Durable products are, they can be used again and again over a long period of time, like bicycles, scooters, car, radios, TV and fridge. Children, I hope with the example you are able to understand, right? Then comes industrial products. Industrial products are the products which are meant for the use of manufacturing the products, that is creating of new products. You require some raw materials or some products by which you are going to create some product, right? The products which are meant for further production, they are termed as industrial products. Industrial products may be further classified as raw materials, operating supplies, installation, accessory equipments, fabricated parts. Raw materials, again, these are converted into finished products, like sugarcane is used for manufacturing sugar, and cotton is used for cloth or as a raw material. Operating supply, these do not become a part of the finished products but are necessary in manufacturing, like nuts, bolts, nails, paints, lubricant, oil. These supplies help the product to get finished, right? So these type of products are called operating supplies. Then installation, these consist of heavy machineries, factory sites, production lines, mainframe computers, trucks and other items of high capital values. These are consist of heavy machines and they are installed for the production of one product. If suppose you want to produce bread, then you need to keep a machine which is going to make the dough, which is going to have a baking condition, baking and all. So big machineries are installed. So such product which you buy for manufacturing of different products, these machineries and all comes under installation. Accessory equipments, these comprises of small lathes, portable drills, hand tools, personal computers, fax machines. These are the items of low capital value and all are also needed for manufacturing purpose. Fabricated parts, these are pre-produced items that becomes a part of the finished products. Tires for automobiles, laces for shoes, mouse for computers. They are pre-produced. They are already produced, but they are used with some finished product, right? So these type of products are called fabricated parts. The main characteristics of industrial products are, there are few buyers. You will not get much buyers for these products. Derived demand, the demand for the industrial goods is a derived demand because you ultimately want to produce one good for the consumer to be consumed. So for the need was to produce particular kind of good, but for making that product, for manufacturing that product, you require industrial products. Then geographical concentration, they have a geographical concentration. there you require different products for different regions, right? So industrial markets are geographically concentrated. For example, sugar mills are located in few regions. So wherever the sugar mill will be associated or located, there only you will be requiring the things of sugar mills, the products which are required to keep in the sugar mills. So the products which you are going to buy for sugar mills will be required in the regions where sugar mills are already set up. So the demand for such products which produce sugars, the demand for such industrial goods will be demanded in the regions where sugar mills are located. Shorter distribution channel. Due to few and concentrated buyers, industrial products are sold through direct channels or one level channel, right? Then comes technical consideration. Industrial products are complex and involve technical issues. These are purchased for rational rather than emotional motives. They are technical issues, they are complex products, and they involve technical issues. Leasing out. Due to heavy price, some buyers may lease out capital equipment instead of outright purchase. Sometimes they do not buy the product, but they just keep it as they buy on a lease basis. Reciprocal buyer. Some big companies and heavy industries may restore to reciprocal buying. For example, Tata Motors buy tires from MRF, which may buy truck from Tata Motors. So there are many a times reciprocal buyers also. Tata Motors buy tires from MRF, and maybe MRF is purchasing trucks from Tata Motors. So these were the types of products. Now let us take meaning, features, and types of services. Services means the activity, benefits, and satisfaction which are offered for sale, right? The satisfaction which is offered for sale, and they are intangible. When you travel by aeroplane, for example, you are using airline services. So what are the features of services? Services are intangible, they don't have shape, they cannot be touched, they cannot be seen. Services are perishable, they perish, and they cannot be stored for future. Services are inseparable, they are inseparable from the seller. You have to keep in touch with the doctor. The doctor's service cannot be separated from the doctor. So services are inseparable from the seller. Services are heterogeneous or variable. They are unlike. Services are unlike. No two people can do the same type of work, right? They have a different way. They have the different way of doing, and the services provided by particular person cannot resemble or cannot be same with the other person. So they are heterogeneous, right? Types of services. Personal services, which is given by the person personally, right? Then financial services. Financial services are provided by banks, housing finance firms, insurance companies, stock brokers, underwriters, mutual funds. These are the financial services. Courier services, which take your product from one place and supply it to the other place. Courier services are like post offices offer such services. Professional services like doctors, lawyers, chartered accountant, company secretaries, architects offer you professional services, by which they are getting a personal degree. They are trained, they are being told, they are being taught by different institutions, and then once they become professional, then they provide you the services. So children, till now we have done till services, and in next video we are going to take up further. So it would be better that you go through the video again and again, and if there is any problem you can just message me and ask any query.